Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another session of our summer webinar series. Today, we talk about ADEM and how it can help for our hybrid workforce. So first, let's have a look what is DEM. DEM, or the Digital Experience Management, is an emerging technology that organizations are evaluating as a way to simplify user performance issues while utilizing a single solution to gain insights into a variety of networking tools. DEM is a real-time monitoring tool that helps IT operations teams to ensure that user issues are quickly mitigated and the network is not disrupted. DEM solutions complement existing application performance monitoring and network performance monitoring and diagnostics tools. And together, they provide an end-to-end picture, with the DEM also adding insights into the user experience. And these experiences are most directly translate into the business outcomes. Hybrid workforce with ADEM. A simple use case is provided here to better understand the hybrid workforce solution. The risk pandemic experienced by the global community created many situations that were not planned for. This pandemic forced organizations to redefine work from home policies. Employees adapt themselves as remote workers working from untrusted networks like home, cafes, parks. Autonomous DEM for the hybrid workforce ensures great user experience when the GlobalProtect client is connected to the Prisma Access via VPN enabled. Now, the corporate workforce environment and the location has been changed into the work from anywhere model. It is even more important for any enterprise to be able to provide current up-to-date analysis on end users, digital experience, and connectivity necessary to allow all of your employees to have throughput and links to work. If an enterprise is not able to quickly troubleshoot and break down the analysis to mitigate the issues, the productions can be greatly affected. ADEM provides the real-time analytical data to ensure high performance for your end users, connection to and through Prisma Access, as Prisma SD-WAN, any of the remote networks of data centers, or anywhere else their mobile users are connected from. So we are introducing here the autonomous DEM for hybrid workforce, which is optimizing user experience and application performance across hybrid work environments, on campus or off campus, wherever it is. This solution optimizes your end user experience to ensure top application performance as their work environment changes. Let's have a look into the ADEM use cases for different personas. There are three different personas I'm just talking about here: the IT help desk, network operations, and application owners. For the IT help desk, it can be challenging to troubleshoot workflow for an individual user and be able to isolate where the issue is in order to route into the appropriate team. This is especially true when the true issues may be due to the Wi-Fi utilization situation, performance issues that might be affecting the overall end user experience, uh, and an experience score may be normally be hard to pinpoint without ADEM. The issue could be due to any number of issues along the path, including the wired connection, wireless connectivity, WAN, ISP application. And there are many areas to analyze, such as the Prisma Access or the ISP. And network operations quickly find the issues and isolate the problems that arise in your SASE location. You can manage the service delivery and the SLA for the various business units by proactively monitoring the end user experience across the network. This will result in reducing IT operational costs and use cases for the network performance management. And for the application owners, ADEM provides the ability to monitor each application they choose from one end user or the location or all the regions, depending on your specific choices. And this can greatly assist your IT operational support by providing application performance monitoring, which reduces your total operational costs from IT operations and tax support. ADEM workflow. Autonomous Digital Experience Management, ADEM. This is an add-on with the Prisma Access. You need to buy your add-on license for the ADEM. And this provides native end-to-end visibility and insights for your SASE environment. And has the ability to drive autonomous remediation of digital experience problems when they arise. The SASE native DEM does not require any additional appliances or agents to be deployed. We have integrated this technology into the GlobalProtect agent and into the Prisma Access Cloud. It provides the comprehensive visibility across endpoints, WAN, the cloud, and the apps. And the most important thing is the segment-wise insights. You can observe every point in the service delivery chain and provide insights that pinpoint the root cause of digital experience problems and simplify the remediation. The workflow of the ADEM solution starts with the receiving data from the endpoint. It is processed with GP, integrated endpoint, Wi-Fi, and synthetic test, traffic visibility from Prisma Access. This is due to having installed agents, and it automatically installed when you are setting up your GlobalProtect. Prisma Access agents are automatically installed within a Prisma Access region where the end users are located. And additional data is collected regarding the Wi-Fi, and you can create specific synthetic tests, application tests for your end users and the apps they use. And I will talk about how we can create tests in upcoming slides. If you have any questions, please feel free to post in the Q&A. Autonomous STEM synthetic tests. I talked about synthetic tests. This test comprises the data that is collected using the endpoints agents that are on each system, as well as the network probes that are automatically deployed in the Prisma Access using the compute region and location. This synthetic test produces a plethora of information for each of the specific endpoints, as well as the Prisma Access, the network, the hops, services, web traffic, and application. ADEM provides a real-time data that will help any IT or the network team to troubleshoot any issues quickly to identify the exact cause of the problem. This synthetic test can be set up for specific users to access their digital experience, specific apps. And you can see the information that endpoint agent produce, which includes the local network router, delay, jitter, and packet loss, VPN overlay, VPN underlay, and some of the user-defined tests, which includes information regarding end-to-end delay, jitter, packet loss, and information that network probes will produce as per the user-defined tests, Prisma access to service delay, jitter, packet loss, a hop by hop, and service web. And these synthetic tests cover multiple segments and layers of the monitored apps. ADEM continuously provides a visibility into the real-time traffic usage between your users and applications they are accessing, including the traffic to the SaaS application, infrastructure as a service application, or other internet-based application, as well as traffic to the application in your own data center. ADEM also enabled GP apps and the cloud ADEM agents within a Prisma Access use this synthetic test to baseline end-to-end network quality metrics like latency, jitter, and packet loss for each segment from the end user to monitored applications. As these synthetic tests are layered, they give a good baseline view of the digital experience segment by segment across all monitored applications and allow you to quickly visualize when and where the change occurred that led to the degradation of user experience. How to set up test? First of all, before setting up an application test, you should survey and make sure that you have all the information about running applications on your network. Then after you have all the details and surveyed all the applications and determined which application you want to monitor, you can create an application test. But keep in mind that you can create application tests targeted to multiple users. The number of tests is based on the number of app tests each individual user run. For example, if you're for app tests like Slack and target to 1,000 users, this would be counted against your license as 1,000 tests. So in order to run the synthetic test to any SaaS application or applications in your data center, or the Prisma Access, or via split tunneling or anything, you must have created security policy rules which allow the synthetic test in traffic over ICMP, HTTP, and optionally HTTP as well. So log into your hub, apps.paloaltonetworks.com, and select the autonomous DEM application. You'll see here, from here you can select this icon. And you'll see the first page. You can click on the DEM page, click on applications, and from the application, click the monitor app link to view the health link that corresponds specific applications. Then from there, you can create the test. Name the app test and define the source user that you want to run this test. By default, all licensed ADEM users are assigned to run this test, whatever you will create. But if you want to limit these app tests to specific users, you can also do so. And identify application you want to test as its target. If you selected an application from the application list, application name is automatically populated. Otherwise, you have to type and see what exactly the application you want to add. Let's have a discuss some use cases for the ADEM mobile user solution. The first case I'm talking about here, considering a situation where the user is connected to the wrong gateway. Let's consider a situation where a user A calls the IT and complaining of intermittent application quality experience issues. Network administrator will log into the ADEM portal on the hub and use the search option on the dashboard to find the users. Being an IT administrator, you will now be taken to the users list. You can see that user A located in San Jose, US, but connects to the Prisma Access gateway in Singapore. The Prisma Access location is US West in Singapore. So two locations is connected to Singapore and gateway and the US gateway. So since this user is from the North American region, connecting the Singapore gateway will add more latency to this application traffic. And the intermittent app quality issues seen by the users are likely caused when he's connected to the Singapore gateway. To further confirm, we click on the user's name and it will open up a dashboard for this user's experience in particular application. You can see his application experience trend shows his application performance rising and falling. The trend chart also lightning bolt indicator, which shows the changes in the connection status. So we can clearly see that when this user is connected to the Prisma Access Singapore gateway, his application performance experience degrades. And when this is connected back to the US gateway, his experience improves. And you can see here. You can also click on the path visualization to see the hop-by-hop view of the entire path, all the way up to the applications. And you can pull the slider of these ISP hops all the way till the end and turn on the toggle switch. And back to the experience trend chart, click on a time period when the performance is good. You can see that the path visualization shows user experience for the selected time period. The user experience is held in green all the way up to the Prisma Access. Beyond the Prisma Access, we see that the user experience degrades, showing the amber and red path between the Prisma Access and the application. And hovering the mouse or the next Prisma, next to the Prisma Access, we can see here that the path takes the user back to the hop in the Google network located in the United States, and the latency encoded from there is 401 milliseconds, which is very high. Okay. And back on the experience chart, you can click on the time interval when the application experience is free and healthy. And if you see that, clicking on the same way, clicking on the same hop next to the Prisma Access, we can see that if now the latency is showing as a 15 millisecond. So this clearly indicates the user experience application quality issues because he is connected to a geographically distant gateway location, which adds latency to his application traffic. ADEM Portal provides all the information necessary for a network admin to understand exactly where the problem is happening and why the problem is happening. Let's have a look into another use case, the ISP-WAN quality issues. Here, the issue is considering a situation where the users are in the US West region are complaining of application quality issues. The summary dashboard shows that the users in the West region are having a fair performance score only. And once clicking on this users, you will land into the monitored users dashboard. Where you can see a list of all the users. We notice that all of the 3 users are having a fair experience only. And we can click on each one of the users and go into the further detail and look into that. Yep. Identify where the problem is originated. We click on one of the users and it shows the problem seems to have originated from the internet circuit, which was propagated all the way till the application. And hovering a mouse over the internet icon here, you can see that it's showing you the high latency. Like this is a core internet service provider issue in the US West region that is impacting all users in the region. The path visualization chart will also show beyond the lane, the application performance all the way till the end. The application is not entirely green and there's a lot amber, indicating the performance impact is underlay path. You can hover the mouse on one of the hops and you can see that latency, the underlay is very high, around 790 milliseconds. This clearly isolates the network performance issues on the internet underlay, and we can confirm that US West users are experiencing the problem issues. ADEM provides enormous value to the enterprise organizations by measuring network and application performance on both underlay and overlay path. Irrespective of where the application is, where the user lives cloud, application lives on the cloud, on-prem, or the data center, and irrespective of the path of the application. Either it's through Prisma Access or direct to the cloud, ADEM is able to provide application performance visibility. Another use case is high CPU causes the poor app performance. Consider a situation here when a user calls the network admin complaining of app performance issues. He's experiencing a slowness, disconnects with all of his applications. Network administrator log into the ADEM portal, search the username into the summer dashboard, and then he see the user's link. Clicking on the username, it will take to the user's dashboard, and we can see that instantly the path chart that the user PC is marked as amber color. And this clearly indicates a device health issue. Hovering a mouse over this icon, you can see that the CPU memory utilization levels are very high. User's experience chart also indicates that he's the only one having the fair experience for all of his application, and this clearly indicated of a device level issue, which is impacting his application performance. And on the path chart, if you click on this particular application, like in this case, Okta here, and you scroll, you will see that the app performance matrix under this app performance matrix trends. You can check and uncheck a particular, what for example, if DNS lookup, HTTP latency, you can check to see what are against those this look like. This high CPU utilization and the memory utilization levels are also likely causing DNS lookup and the HTTP connection delays, which directly affect the application experience for this customer. And this pass to the particular application, this dashboard also clearly indicates that the WAN path, the overlay health all looks good, and it's only the PC that is suffering, which is also causing application performance issues. With these segment-wise insights, not just along the WAN path, including endpoint metrics and Wi-Fi, LAN performance assessments, ADEM Portal adds huge value to the enterprise organizations that have thousands of remote users distributed global, accessing numerous applications via multiple WAN path, enable network admins to instantly identify where the problem is happening in the service delivery path. Now let's talk about the ADEM for remote networks. The corporate enterprise is facing a unique challenge in having the proper visibility into the quality connectivity of their end users that are experiencing day by day. Across all networks throughout the infrastructure, hardware connections, connection to the data centers, remote networks, SD-WAN, mobile users who might connect via any number of method or location, including home, coffee shop, and more. How do you gain the visibility you're required to ensure the highest level of performance and experience for your end user? And because of this new workflow requirements, the enterprise networks are being redefined by applications and network ownership boundaries for IT. Organizations are losing visibility across the entire service delivery chain between users and applications. Applications are becoming more distributed than ever, with the organization moving app workloads to the cloud from on-premises data center, and in many cases, relying on the SaaS. As this happens, IT has reduced visibility and no control and no control and visibility into this. And finally, as enterprise rely more on the public internet, they have lost visibility into the performance of network paths. ISPs connecting users and branches to the business critical application. This lack of visibility across the service delivery chain leaves IT and the typical legacy branch, the data center monitoring solutions that have traditionally been used blind and unable to solve user experience problems. As mentioned, IT lacks the visibility to different segments. IT lacks the necessary tools to identify and isolate the exact problem, domain, and root cause. They need ability to proactively monitor connectivity. Here comes the ADEM for remote networks, which provides path and performance visibility with the segment-wide insights into not just users, but all devices behind every branch. Unlike other solutions, ADEM is natively integrated, allowing it to measure experience of every application hosted anywhere across all the configured paths from the branch, underlay, overlay, active, backup, ISPs, and more. It provides admins with actionable information to isolate the problem domains and resolve the issue faster. Existing customers can easily enable this capability through a subscription from cloud with a few clicks. It does not require an additional appliance or virtual machine or VM, anything. You don't need. ADEM is a service that provides native end-to-end visibility, application performance in your SASE environment. And this functionality is natively integrated into Prisma SD-WAN IONs and Prisma Access. As I mentioned, you don't need and not require you to deploy any additional appliance pages. And because of this native integration, ADEM service enables synthetic tests for application you specify from endpoint of Prisma SD-WAN device and deployed from the Prisma Access location in your environment. And it continuously monitors all the segments on all the WAN paths, either it's active backup for Prisma SD-WAN. But the requirements are you need a Prisma Access of license for remote networks and ADEM license remote networks as well. At the moment, these remote networks must be a Prisma SD-WAN. They must be enabled aggregate bandwidth, and you can manage the ADEM through the same ADEM portal, either which I discussed in the previous slides from the hub. Let's discuss some syntactic test matrix and score calculations, how we are doing it. Network matrix, we are doing availability, delay, jitter, loss. Availability is calculated by measuring the duration for each sample period that had 3 or more consecutive loss events. And delay is the time taken in milliseconds to complete a round trip request and response circuits. Jitter is a variation in delay. And this is calculated by taking the median absolute deviation for the delays for each period. Loss is a number of packet loss per sample period and is represented in the percentage. The web metrics are based upon HTTP or HTTPS traffic. It is important to remember that you must create a security policy that allows HTTP and HTTPS traffic. The data provided on the web metrics for HTTP and HTTPS traffic includes availability, DNS lookup, TCP connect, SSL connect. And for the web metrics, the availability is the number of successful transactions expressed as a percentage. The transaction is considered successful if no connection errors. DNS lookup is the time taken in milliseconds to complete the DNS resolution. TCP connect is the time taken in milliseconds for a three-way handshake. SSL connect is the time also in milliseconds time to complete the SSL handshake to establish a secure connection. Time to first byte is the time taken, and this is also in milliseconds. It's the time taken from the start of the DNS lookup to receive the first byte of the data. Data transfer is the time taken to receive all the data from the servers. Time to last byte is the total time of the entire transactions. It's the same as the DNS lookup, TCP connect, SSL connect. HTTPS and latency is the time taken for the servers to process the HTTP or request and send the first part of the response back. And all this information is represented in the milliseconds. Another important thing, ADEM certificate renewal. If you are a current ADEM customer, you're using ADEM, or you're new to ADEM, you're just in the process of deploying ADEM, make sure you get certificates renewal has been happened. You have renewed your certificates. So the certificates and the chain use the GlobalProtect app log collection, they're expiring as of June 2022, 3rd of June 2022. So if you're using ADEM or you're using GP app log collection feature, you should renew your certificate before June 3rd. For currently deployed customers, you should attempt to renew the certificates before June 3rd of June when it expired. And for the first time users, the new users who have successfully registered to the ADEM service, only if they have upgraded to the GP version of 5.2.1.11, existing ADEM endpoints already connected to ADEM Cloud Service will be auto-upgraded with the latest ADEM endpoint versions, and you don't need to migrate to the GP or upgrade the GP version. If the customer don't upgrade or are not able to upgrade before June 3rd, all the new ADEM deployments will experience an interruption as they will fail to register to the ADEM portal. Please make sure you renew your certificate before June 3rd if you're using ADEM. So here I'm quickly talking about how you can renew your certificate. If you're a Panorama Managed Prisma Access customers, log into your Panorama, go to the Panorama tab. On the left side, you will see cloud service and configurations. Under the GlobalProtect app log collection and ADEM, click on the renew certificate, and it will renew the certificate. Once the certificate is generated, you have to push the certificates under the portal and agents. This new certificate will be pushed to the GP app upon the portal configuration refresh, either manually or by the end users or at default portal configurations. First-time ADEM endpoint deployments will be able to successfully register if they upgrade to the newer version of GP, either on 5.2.11 or 6.0. And if you're a cloud managed Prisma Access customer, log into the cloud managed console, navigate to the configuration, object, certificate, and GP log certificate, and click on the renew. Once the new certificate is generated, administrator has to push the new certificate by clicking on push configurations. And then this new certificate will push to the GP app portal configuration refresh, either manually or by the end user at default portal. And same, if they're the first time ADEM endpoint deployments, you'll be able to successfully register if you have upgraded to the new version of 5.2.11 or 6.0. Another important thing, ADEM Agent upgrades is now available on the CSP portal as well. So you can manually also download from the customer support portal if you need to download ADEM Agent. So that's all about today's webinar. Here we will do a quick demo, and I will hand over here to our senior product manager, Sarah, who will do a quick demo for ADEM for us. So over to you, Sarah.
Hi, guys. I'm going to share my screen. I hope everybody's having a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Nope, not the right screen. Sorry, just a second. I'll just share my whole desktop. Okay, you guys should be seeing ADEM right now. Can you confirm that?
Yep.
Okay, great. So Karam has walked you through a couple of examples through screenshots, but I just want to show you how navigating through the ADEM portal looks and feels. So this is the ADEM homepage, and what we've got here is some summary statistics about mobile experience score and remote site experience score. So what this shows us is that overall things are going well. There's one application that's having some trouble. Then if we go over to remote site experience score, we see the same thing. So overall, most applications are performing well, but there's one application that is struggling a bit. Looking at the experience score for remote network sites, it looks like overall the RN sites are performing quite well, but there's two over here in US West that are not performing quite as well as everyone else. And things are still fair, but not ideal. So let's go figure out what this application that's underperforming for both RN and mobile users are. So we could click through here, or I'm going to take us to the application summary dashboard. So one of the cool things about ADEM that I don't think showed up in Kuram's slides and presentation is we actually can show you the total data usage of applications. So this is a traffic distribution by application across mobile users of RN. And you can see that in the past 3 hours, so this time range is adjustable. You can do 15 minutes, 3 hours, up to 30 days. So in the past 3 hours, there's been 4.7 gigabytes of data used, and 92% of that was online browsing. And it looks like SharePoint is the next largest after that at 4.1%, 192 megabytes. You can also see here trends in bandwidth utilization. So this is really useful if an organization experiences, let's say, every day around 2 p.m., they experience some application performance issues. Going here and checking out the bandwidth utilization and looking for cyclic patterns in bandwidth utilization can help identify issues that are really based on the cyclic patterns that people use the internet, right? Like we're all online at 2 p.m. So back to this application, it looks like Dropbox is underperforming for both mobile users and for remote sites. So we can drill down into Dropbox. And what we see here is like pretty straightforward, right? We can see that Dropbox performance isn't impacted by device, Wi-Fi, local network, internet, or Prisma Access location. It looks like the site itself is underperforming. So the Dropbox application servers themselves are adding latency. We can go through and confirm that by drilling down into these 14 mobile user devices. So just like a quick note, a mobile user device is slightly different than a mobile user because you can have two computers, and some users do have two computers. So this is a list of all of the mobile user devices. Let's choose someone that has a particularly low Dropbox score. It's like Mina. And then if we drill down into Dropbox performance here, we can see that there's a huge time to first byte and time to last byte associated with the Dropbox server itself. So more than 1,000 milliseconds. So pretty straightforward that Dropbox is, as an application, is underperforming. And if we want to check in with another mobile user just to validate that, let's try eCollins. So eCollins has generally good mobile user experience. And on Dropbox, again, we're seeing that the time to first byte and time to last byte is above 1,000 milliseconds, which is much higher than the internet latency that was introduced in the segment before. So let's check out another mobile user. It looks like we've already looked at E. Collins. So if we go to Aaron Edwards at Alvisofin, I believe he has 2 devices. Maybe he has 1 device. So we've got this Dropbox issue. The other thing we can see here is it looks like the local ISP performance for Aaron Edwards is a little bit suboptimal. So at the local network exit, he only has 1.5 milliseconds of latency. And then before it gets to Prisma Access, there's another 50 milliseconds of latency introduced. So if Aaron Edwards is experiencing any problems, we could look at this and say like, okay, we need to have a conversation with the local ISP. Let's take a quick look at the remote sites page. So these remote sites are the Prisma SD-WAN branches. And what we see here is that we've got pretty good performance on 3 out of the 4 Prisma SD-WAN branches. New York, Chicago, and Raleigh look fine. And if we drill down into Seattle, what we see is that the Verizon internet path is underperforming. So going from Seattle branch 3 to Prisma Access on Verizon and Seattle branch 3 to Prisma Access again on Verizon, both of these are underperforming paths. And if we compare with the Comcast path, we can get clear numbers about that difference in latency. So Comcast is introducing 67 milliseconds of latency. Verizon is introducing 186 milliseconds of latency in Seattle. So this kind of path-wise performance statistics are really useful when customers need to have conversations with their local ISP and say like, hey, you know, we bought a local exit from you guys and it looks like it's underperforming. Another thing that you can do in ADEM is take a look at the performance of your Prisma Access locations. So even though ADEM is not a Prisma Access debug tool, it is very much for full service path troubleshooting and debug. We do give some visibility into Prisma Access performance, and we can see here that everything is looking pretty good. And if you hover and click on any Prisma Access location, you can see the latency, jitter, and packet loss that were introduced. So it looks like in the Northeast, there's a little bit of latency being introduced, but overall things look pretty good. You can also view this in a list, and looks like everybody's performing pretty well here. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. Thank you, guys.
If you have any questions, please feel free to post. It's all about for today's session. You can also write us at network security, cs@paloaltonetworks.com.